Welcome everyone. My name's Sonia Johnson. I'm the Bee Biosecurity Officer for Biosecurity Queensland. Also presenting today is Sarah Hickman, our Engagement Officer. We both are working under the Varroa Innovation Resilience Initiative, or the VMIRI program for short. As many of you will be aware, the Varroa Development Officer roles have now finished, and so today's presentation is about where Queensland beekeepers can find support going forward. So we'll walk you through who we are and our role in supporting Queensland's beekeepers. We'll discuss some of the industry support services available in Queensland, including the state's honeybee industry bodies. And finally, we'll guide you to where beekeepers can find additional resources and information to support hive health and best practice beekeeping.
Hi, thanks for that, Tonya. So Biosecurity Queensland, through the VMIRI program, is focused on supporting Queensland beekeepers in a few ways. Firstly, we provide direct biosecurity support for Queensland's honeybee industry, helping beekeepers understand risks, respond to issues, and strengthen good management practices. A major part of this is education, awareness, and capability uplift, making sure beekeepers have access to practical information, training, and tools to build confidence and resilience over time. We also focus strongly on industry connection and communication, including engagement through key groups such as the Roundtable Advisory Group, QBA, and Biosecurity Champions to ensure messaging and priorities reflect what's happening on the ground. And finally, we support industry preparedness, including education and awareness for beekeepers, but also pollination-reliant industries. So growers and industries that depend on bees are also informed and ready as Varroa becomes a longer-term challenge. Hi, so some of you may remember me from my time as Varroa Development Officer. My name's Sarah Hickman, and I've recently transitioned into my new role as Engagement Officer. But I'm still very much here to support beekeepers with managing and dealing with Varroa, just in a slightly different capacity now. You're welcome to contact me by phone or email, and I'm generally available Monday to Friday. However, for larger events such as show days or the QBA field day, a Saturday may also be possible. I also offer online presentations, particularly for beekeepers and pollination-reliant industries that are further afield. So please don't hesitate to get in touch if that would be helpful. I now chair the monthly Biosecurity Champion meetings and have been working on refreshing and strengthening the network so that they can become more active in their roles. As the VDO program wraps up, Biosecurity Champions will play an increasingly important role for clubs in the biosecurity space moving forward. They'll be helping to share the latest information from DPI and are being upskilled to provide support where they can. And finally, thank you for your patience. We're only a small team covering the whole of Queensland, but we're here to help and support you as best we can.
As mentioned earlier, I am Queensland's Bee Biosecurity Officer. There is one of us in each state, working in partnership with state governments and Plant Health Australia as part of the National Bee Biosecurity Program. Like Sarah, some of you may know me as from my previous role as a VDO. So my role as a Bee Biosecurity Officer, or BBO, involves supporting beekeepers to prevent or reduce the spread of honeybee pests and diseases within their hives, to help you recognise the signs and symptoms of pests and diseases and understand when something may not be right in your hive, provide information and advice about exotic pests and diseases, including what they are, why they matter, and how to report them, and educating and training beekeepers on how to implement best biosecurity practice into their operations through talking, demonstrations, both online and in person, and also through the shared resources, tools, and programs. So as with Sarah, I am still here for support, also just in a different capacity.
Thanks, Tonya. So we have a number of beekeeping recreational clubs throughout Queensland, and one of the best support networks you can have as a beekeeper is to be part of a club. So most clubs have experienced members and bee mentors who can help at every level, from the basics like finding the queen and learning how to mark her, right through to the more advanced beekeeping skills like hive management, pest and disease monitoring, and seasonal planning. Clubs also play a huge role in education and communication. Many provide regular newsletters, run field days, they host hands on workshops, and deliver beekeeping courses. They also get guest speakers to come in and talk to the members to help stay up to date. And most importantly, many of the clubs now have biosecurity champions who help strengthen the connection between beekeepers and Biosecurity Queensland. I'll be talking more about the Biosecurity Champs network in our next slide. If you're not currently part of a club, I really encourage you to start thinking about joining one. Now that Varroa is here, we are all in this together, and being connected to other beekeepers has never been more important. So the Biosecurity Champions Network are a network of volunteers from across Queensland clubs that play a really important role in supporting beekeepers to understand biosecurity practices and best practice pest and disease management. One of the key goals of this network is to set the industry up for the long haul, particularly now that the VDOs have finished up and the VMIRI program wraps up in June 2027. Biosecurity champions will become an increasingly important point of contact within the local clubs. The network spans right across Queensland from the New South Wales border all the way to Cairns and also out to Goondiwindi. The champions meet monthly with DPI to receive the latest updates, consistent messaging, and current information coming out of DPI. They act as a two-way information circuit, sharing information from government out to beekeepers and also feeding local issues, concerns, and observations from the beekeeping community back to government. So over the past 5 months, I've been refreshing and strengthening the network with a strong focus on building champion skills and knowledge. We've grown from 25 to 37 champions, now representing over 15 registered beekeeping associations, as well as a number of informal beekeeper groups. If anyone is interested in learning more or getting involved, the best place to start is by contacting your local beekeeping club.
We also have Queensland State industry body, the Queensland Beekeepers Association, or QBA for short. They represent commercial and amateur beekeepers across Queensland. QBA acts as the collective voice of Queensland's honeybee industry by advocating on behalf of beekeepers to government, media, and other stakeholders, and by supporting the long-term viability of the industry. For its members, QBA provides industry information and updates, supports learning and discussion through their branches and events, and facilitates communication and connection between beekeepers, also assisting with issues that arise in day-to-day beekeeping. We also have these 3 very important documents. They are there to support and guide beekeepers in Queensland. The Biosecurity Manual for Beekeepers provides practical on-the-ground guidance to reduce the risk of pests and diseases, while the Honeybee Industry Biosecurity Code of Practice, there in the middle, shows what good industry-accepted hive management looks like. The General Biosecurity Obligation Fact Sheet on the right, or GBO, is the legal requirement in Queensland. In practice, it's about taking sensible, achievable steps to protect your hives and the wider industry. Together, they help you manage risk, keep healthier hives, and meet your biosecurity responsibilities.
If you haven't already, I strongly encourage you to subscribe to our Biosecurity Bee e-alert so you can receive important bee and Varroa updates straight into your inbox. It's one of the easiest ways to stay informed, and it means that you'll get critical information directly from Biosecurity Queensland as soon as it's available. No waiting for it to filter through. So sign up, simply scan the QR code, tick bees, and any other alerts that you would like to receive, then click submit. It takes less than a minute, and it's a really practical way to stay one step ahead, especially now that Varroa is part of the Queensland beekeeping landscape.
There are a range of other trusted resources available to support beekeepers in their hive management in Queensland. We've got Biosecurity Queensland website, we've got a contact call centre, AgriFutures, varroa.org.au, Varroa Management Tool, Professional Beekeepers, the When Bee Foundation, ARBIC, Be Aware, and of course BOLT, the Biosecurity Online Training for Beekeepers. One resource worth highlighting is the Varroa Management Tool from Tokau. With Varroa now present in Queensland, this tool can help guide your decision making and support you in choosing the most appropriate Varroa management actions for your situation. All of the links and resources on this slide are available in the YouTube video description, so you can easily click through and explore them in your own time. Well, that's our little slideshow for everyone, and I'm sure you will see us again.
Thank you all very much for taking your time out to watch this little video in our intro. Thank you so much.
Thanks all.